Welcome back, tennis obsessors, to another video where, as you can see from the title, we're going to be reviewing the new Dunlop FX 500 Tour. Now, I know this review is coming slightly late, but I've still been really excited to see how this plays, so let's find out. For the new viewers on the channel, I will explain the format of reviews and comparisons. The racket being reviewed is put under a series of drills which highlights its strengths and weaknesses on different shots and aspects of the game. These are forehands, backhands, slice, volleys, and serves. At the end of each drill, I discuss what the racket did well and what it didn't, and give a rating out of 10 for each shot. Before I discuss the forehands, I want to point out that I've played with this racket without any weight added and also with 3 grams added at the top of the hoop. I felt that the racket performed the best with the weight added in the hoop, so that's the setup I used to put it through the drills. Now, let's get on to the forehands. The main point to make about this racket is that it's got bags and bags of power. Now, this can be good and bad. Sometimes it felt that there was that bit too much behind the racket, forcing some shots to go long. But on the positive side, it can end points really quickly with winner after winner. But you do need to have good technique to keep this ball consistent, as this isn't an easy frame to use by any means. Alongside this, its main shot type is topspin. With the spacing between the strings being very open, it forces you to have to hit with a lot of spin. Now, I'm not saying you can't hit flat with it, but it's very difficult to keep it consistent. The racket goes through the air quickly, allowing for easy spin and power, but is still stable and solid in the hand. Although it does seem to lack a slight bit of directional ability, making it harder to pinpoint your shot. Because the string bed is so open, this can cause erratic launches. Sometimes it can fly in the fence or slap right in the middle of the net, and it might not even have been your fault. So, taking it all into account, I'm giving the racket a 7.5 out of 10. I've tried the racket with 3 different strings in it. They were the Headlinks Tour, Tru Pro Black Knight, and Vocal Cyclone. The footage used in this video is with the Cyclone string. Moving on to the backhand. Like with the forehands, the racket's power on the backhand side can be too much at times, making me feel like I have to take the power off to keep the ball in. And once again, flattening out that backhand did seem to struggle with that open string bed. With the 3 grams at the top of the hoop, the racket seemed to move through the air really smoothly on that one-handed backhand. Before I added the weight, the racket did feel like it could have been slightly too whippy at times. But the racket's really good stability stopped any sort of buckle in the hand. Once again, it did have a really good topspin shot, allowing you to rip low receiving balls instead of having to loop them. Because of it being an advanced level frame, I felt like I really had to hit through the ball all the time to keep the ball consistent. So for the rating, I'm going to be giving it another 7.5 out of 10. The racket features Sonic Core with infinite energy. This enhances both power and control in the frame by absorbing vibration and improved rebound. This gives the racket its comfortable feel. Next up, the slice. I was quite surprised with how solid this racket was on this drill. It doesn't have the best feel and has quite a high launch angle, but has a really good ability of keeping that slice low over the net and deep in the court. I found that even though ground strokes can go randomly astray at times, the slice was consistent throughout, lacking a bit of direction at times again, but it didn't seem to affect it as much as it did with the forehands and backhands. So for this, I'm going to be giving it an 8.5. This racket features a Power Boost Plus groove, which is designed to enlarge the sweet spot and improve comfort, allowing you to produce more power when hitting off of the center. As you can tell, this racket is made for people who want to play aggressive tennis. Looking at the volleys. The racket stability in this section really shone with and without the weight. It can block hard shots and punch volleys away easily. And for a racket that doesn't have the best feel, it can cut fine angles and hit drop volleys surprisingly well. The one downside to this section was the racket sweet spot did feel a little small, so when hitting on the outside of the string bed, the control over the ball wasn't great. But that doesn't really knock the rating down too much, so I'm giving the racket a 9 out of 10. The frame has power grid string tech designed to give more spin and power by optimizing the alignment of the strings. This is the larger spaces between the strings that I've been talking about throughout this video. And finally, the serves. I did find I had to change my technique to hit a serve with this racket. It felt that I had to spin every serve to get it to land in the service box. Most flat serves did seem to go long, but this did mean that hitting kick and slice serves were pretty easy. It did seem to be quite an unforgiving racket on the serve, as the sweet spot did feel small at times. So for that, I'll be giving it a 7.5. But that's coming from the perspective of a flat server. If you spin a lot of your serves, you might enjoy this. As always, thank you for watching the video. I'm going to be uploading a comparison between the old and new Dunlop FX 500 Tour. So if you want to see that, then subscribe to the channel with the notification bell turned on so you don't miss that upload. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a like on it. It does really help the channel out. And I'll see you in the next one.